celebrity judges.
Absolutely, Sarah. Please welcome Strategic Advisors, Second Century Ventures, Andrew Ackerman.
Woo!
Partner at Latitude Ventures, Laura Lucas.
Woo!
An angel investor and vice president, real estate and channel partners, Seal Energy, Chris Moreno.
Okay, guys, you have the very difficult and serious, not so serious job of making sure that you're asking amazing questions to these startups. Now, we're doing this because a lot of the times, as the Hispanic community, we want to be able, we hear about all these venture capitalists, right? And it seems like it's so intimidating. But in reality, it's not. You and I were talking in the back, and we were talking about what are maybe some of those questions that we need to focus on when we're looking at some startups. Tell them a little bit.
Sure. So startups are kind of like a chain, right? If any one chain link in the chain doesn't work, the startup's not going to work. So you want to work your way methodically through things like what problem are you solving? How are you solving it? What makes you special and unique? All the way down to things like what's your competition? How much have you raised? Don't be embarrassed to ask them how much money they have left, right? No one wants to put, a gallon of gas into a car that needs a full tank. But once you work through all those specific questions, there's one question I always say you need to keep in the back of your mind. And that question is, why now? There are so many talented founders out there, and they're all jumping on opportunities as they come up. So if you don't, or more importantly, if the founder doesn't have a good answer for why now, odds are there's a lot of other startups that are trying and maybe have already succeeded at that problem. So if I leave you with one question, keep why now.
I love it. So here are the rules. We're going to bring these startups one at a time. You guys will have to vote between 3 of them. We're going to give them 4 minutes to give their presentation. At the 4-minute mark, the dragon lady is coming out there, and I am going to stop and have these amazing judges do questions for 2 whole minutes, so that you guys can find out who you want to vote for. After the 3rd startup has done their presentation, we are going to have 1 minute for you guys to vote. Do not let me down, Nar Familia. And Omar, let's go ahead and bring up our first contestant.
Absolutely.
Good
Let's
luck.
bring up co-founder and CEO of ARCS, Tomas Garcia.
What do we all wish we had more of when it comes to real estate? Time. Time is money. Time is also a clicker that's not working. Oh, there we go. What do we all wish we had more of when it comes to real estate? Time. Finding the best investment and development opportunities just takes too much time. Think about the time it takes to identify a potential opportunity. Gather the relevant data, build a financial model, figure out what you can and should do with that clicker that's not working, build a financial model, and make a go or no-go decision based on its return on investment. Aren't you tired of wasting your time looking for needles in a haystack? Let me show you the metal detector. I'm Tomas Garcia, co-founder and CEO of ARCS, an AI-driven real estate analytics platform that helps our clients answer not just the question of what is the highest and best use of this property, but what is the highest and best use of my capital and my time across the entire real estate market, period. Now, that's a pretty big question. We're not going to underwrite every single future scenario for every single property by hand because, well, that would take years. But imagine, what if it took seconds? ARCS automatically ingests, enriches, and analyzes millions of real estate data points in advance, leveraging artificial intelligence to pre-compute tens of millions of future scenarios across entire regions. Instead of going site by site looking for their next deal, with a few clicks on ARCS, real estate professionals can instantly understand how to best deploy their time and capital into the market. For example, what if we wanted to quite literally search the future and identify every single property in Los Angeles that supports fix and flip deals on single-family homes with a minimum return of 15% that require no more than $150,000 of cash and that can be completed in less than 6 months with at least 3 comparables supporting our acquisition as well as our sales assumption. With ARCs, we can. There are the 1,378 properties that best meet our underwriting criteria in seconds. And what if you wanted these slides are crazy, they're really crazy, but what if you were asked to actually pencil out a deal, just like one of our brokers was asked by a developer? In seconds, you could immediately see how much a potential project would cost, how long it would take, and what you could expect to sell it for, including every single return metric under the sun, and comparables analysis for both the acquisition as well as the sale. ARCS is currently live in the select markets of Los Angeles, Orange County, and Seattle, supporting residential fix and flip, as well as replacement construction deals, but we're just getting started. Soon, you'll be able to search every residential property across the nation as a renovate to rent or a build to rent deal as well. We're hot off the heels of winning a number of industry awards, including Housing Wire's Tech 100, as well as Built World's Building Tech Top 50, and we're a proud member of the NAR Reach commercial class of 2022. I would ask everyone in this audience, if what I've said today sounds of interest to you, please follow the link there or scan that QR card to get started with ARCS. If we're not in your market, we can, oh, I got more time, that's great. So if we're not in your market yet, we can be in your market very soon. We currently offer enterprise-wide access licenses in the markets that we're in. If you would like us to be in your market tomorrow, all you have to do is come and find me, talk to me, and we'll make it work. ARCS is a real estate professional's strategic weapon, empowering them to answer the question that everyone in this room wants answered. What is the highest and best use of my capital and my time? Let's answer that question together. Join ARCS and find the best real estate deals today. Thank you.
Guys, let's hear it for Thomas. And he was under the 4-minute mark. So let's go ahead, judges. What questions do we have? Laura.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Can you tell me how much it costs?
Well, so right now we offer bespoke pricing at an enterprise-wide level, so it really depends on how many geographies you want to cover, how many investment strategies you want to search across, and ultimately whether there's any sort of custom underwriting that you'd like in there. So we tailor our pricing for those enterprise users. We don't offer an individual access to the system yet. We are launching a product that's meant for individual real estate professionals that'll be coming in Q1 of next year. That's intended to be at a low price point.
Thank you.
Of course.
Great. You have the right audience here. This is really exciting. You talked about millions of data points. Can you tell me just a little bit of traction that you've seen to date in maybe a couple of the cities?
Traction in terms of use cases?
Revenue
like
use cases or even examples of maybe a case study.
Absolutely. All right, well, so I would say that one of the thing that we're working on next is kind of what we're hearing from our early pilot customers. So right now we're working with a number of different brokerages as well as builders to truly build out this platform to be something that every real estate professional would ultimately dream of. What we're getting asked for and what we'll be rolling out is the ability to do these sort of custom underwritings, so that'll be coming very soon. Right now, everything in our system is algorithmically derived, but in the future, you could imagine if you have your own sort of secret sauce and you want to see how the market looks like according to you as an investment fund or you as a builder or potentially one of your developer investor clients, we'll actually be able to allow you to run that underwriting en masse across entire geographies. So I would say that that's sort of the most exciting thing that we're working on that's been coming out of our early pilot case studies.
Andrew, last question to our last judge.
No VC pitch would be complete without asking you what makes you different, better, and special compared to your competition.
Absolutely. Well, my co-founder and I, my brother, we started off in this industry. So we started off as flippers. We actually built this technology to help ourselves scour the market for the best real estate deals. As basically upon completing our first project, which we identified using this platform, we set price per square foot records in the areas that we were operating. And the agents that we were working with and the other developers in the community, they asked us, how did you do that? So that's really what sets us apart. We come from the industry. We're not technologists coming from outside here saying, we know what we're doing, we know best. We built this to solve our pain point, which is a pain point that I believe everyone in this audience shares.
Awesome. Well, the Dragon Lady did give you a little extra time just because of the whole, thing with the slides. But thank you so much, Thomas.
Thank you.
Everybody, Thomas Garcia, co-founder and CEO of ARCS. Okay, judges, help me welcome next our next founder and CEO of Deep Blocks, Olivia Ramos. Woo!
Hello, everybody. My name is Olivia Ramos, and I'm the CEO of Deep Blocks. And we're very grateful to be here and grateful to be working on an AI agent that's going to identify the best real estate investment deals. Deep Blocks has, wait, do we have a slide? Yeah, we're good. We're good, okay. Deep Blocks has always been on the cutting edge. In 2018, we brought out the very first 3D model, hybrid, integrated with financial model, and it turned weeks of feasibility studies into minutes. In 2020, we brought out the very first zoning-based search engine to be able to scan millions of parcels, tens of thousands in a single city, and find the ones that you can build, for example, 200,000 square feet of industrial or 250 residential units. This software is now live in 120 US cities. And today we're announcing a new product. Now imagine all the power of feasibility and search into a product that has no sliders, no buttons, no learning curve. We are combining Deep Blocks with ChatGPT. We're calling it ChatDB. Now before I show you how it works, let's remember that without Deep Blocks, it takes 18 months on average to find a real estate development commercial deal. And it takes back and forth with architects a couple of weeks. So ChatDB is going to turn that upside down by employing a series of AI agents that focus on very specific tasks. The first, the market agent. And the market agent is going to have 3 main commands in our lounge. First, the rank command, and it's going to use growth metrics to rank and compare cities and census tracts to see how they're performing, any city in the US. You're going to be able to ask it, let's compare Miami, Jacksonville, Orlando, and you can see how they're performing. The second is the map command, where it could show you where these high-performing neighborhoods are. And very quickly across these metrics, you can see where to focus in and where to investigate further in any city in the US. And the third is graph that shows you over time how these cities are performing. And the whole time you can have the conversation with the agent to study how crime is going in Miami, it's gone down a lot, and how race distribution has changed over time. And we're not stopping there. So the next 2 AI agents are going to be the search and the model. And in the search, you're going to be able to ask, what are the properties that are underutilized for development? What are the properties that have maximized zoning for acquisition? And where is the city growing next? And the modeling AI would do thousands of iterations to figure out what the highest and best use is. But let's expand our minds. We can add so many agents that specialize on a lot of things that we need, like news, listings, negotiations. It's going to know who's buying, who's selling. It's going to know, and it's going to be able to transfer titles over the blockchain. ChatDB is a network of AI agents that specialize in all the different processes. We are now at the cusp of an AI revolution in real estate, and we're very grateful to be part of this movement. And I encourage you to be some of the first adopters of ChatDB. We have a waiting list. It's going out in 2 weeks, and you can be on that waiting list through this site, ai.deepblocks.com. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you so much, Olivia. So let's start with the 2-minute question with you, Andrew, since you got a little cut off on the last one.
Sure, no problem at all. Can you describe your ideal customer and what the pricing is for that customer?
Yes, so the pro customer, which is the scanner and the 3D modeler that has all the zoning data and you can find all the sites, that starts at $680 per city a month. $680 a month per city. We actually have a national...
Per person or per company?
Per seat. Per seat, that seat could be shared. There's the modeler and 3D financial analysis feasibility one. That starts at $18 a month. So that one is much cheaper. And it doesn't have any of the data. And then ChatDB is going to be $39.99 a month.
Excellent. Laura or Chris?
Yeah. There's the microphone. Incredible. So you're obviously very excited about this. Understand the data behind it. What gives you and the team the expertise and the history to know the space better than anyone else?
Yeah, so we come from the industry. I have a master's in architecture from Columbia University, a master's in real estate development from the University of Miami, worked in construction and development and brokerage, understand all the disciplines, and our team is at the cutting edge of all the different AI products that are coming on board, and we're starting to implement them right away in order to keep track with these latest technologies, and we're learning a lot, and the possibilities are endless.
Excellent. Laura.
Hi, Olivia. Well, so we've known each other for a while now, and I've watched you grow and develop all of the different stages of the company year over year, as you described. What are some little nuggets that you can share of the learnings that you've had year over year that your technology has been able to, break ground on, or anything that you can share with the audience?
Yeah, I think the information and the data can be used by everybody, can empower from new agents, residential agents, all the way to national funds, national real estate developers. And what we've learned is the difference is the usability. So we're trying to make really kind of a robust product very accessible to everyone. And that's what this launch is about.
Awesome. Well, people, help me say thank you to Olivia. Thank you so much. And now for our last contestant, Mr. Jim Sacasio, CEO and co-founder of FairClose. Woohoo!
All right. Hello, everybody. We're the last one, so I'm going to get right to it. FairClose. It's my pleasure to introduce you to FairClose. It's the first online marketplace for off-market residential real estate with verified sellers, validated properties, and certified buyers. So why FairClose? As an investor, we've flipped over 70 properties in the last years between flipping and finding them for other clients. And in that, we found some common issues, some real big pain points. Pain points of people calling you up, saying they have a property, they really don't have a property, controlling the property, and they don't control the property. So for us, it was bad properties, bad deals, and then the other side of it, we were looking for people to sell our property to. So I'm gonna take this as our necessity. We talked to others in the industry, when we went out to other people, and we talked to realtors. So as a realtor, don't you hate when you get a phone call from an investor asking for a property? How do you know an investor grade property is? Who do you go show those properties? How do you deal with unproven wholesale buyers and wholesalers? So the real key is, how do you find the right investor for the right property? So our solution was to build out our marketplace. It's an invitation-only marketplace built around trust, transparency, and efficiency. We look at the sellers and we rate the sellers, how responsive, whether the data is accurate, whether it really is a deal. With the buyers, and this is a real key for you as real estate agents, we bring and we find the certified buyers. We know whether they put their EMDs on time. We know whether they close deals on time. We know whether they renegotiate, because we spend a lot of time in the data, and it's the data that gives us advantage to bring you the buyers of the properties. We also score out the properties. It's an application which is available. It's functional today. So what's the benefit to a real estate agent? Wouldn't you love to invite your buyers and make money off of your reputations? Would you like to double end your deals? Would you like to get competing offers from certified buyers? And would you like to feed your investors new deals? So when we look at it, how an investor would make money, because it's an invitation-only marketplace, you as the trusted advisor invites people in, they accept your invitation, and now you negotiate out what type of fee you would like for bringing that person into the network. So the example we used is, let's say you bring an investor in, and every investor that you bring in, let's say I'm willing to take a $1,500 fee. Well, that investor doesn't buy every property from you. So imagine getting them into the marketplace. You get 10 investors, they each do 5 deals, and you're picking up $7,500 in fees. And you also get a share of the technology fee. From a standpoint of when you bring a seller into the platform, how many times are you asked by sellers, hey, I want a cash offer? Well, who do you go to? You go to your handful of investors that maybe you know. Why not go to a broader marketplace that can give you a cash offer? So in this instance, there's a buyer's premium associated with it. $400,000 gives you a $16,000 fee associated with that. Platform is free to join. There is a fee on a buy side and a sell side, only if a transaction closes. And we're in Southern California today. We're ready to move up and down the state of California. And then we'll move to the east. So with that, it's been a pleasure to speak to you, and go to fairclose.com/NAREP.
Awesome. So our judges are going to go ahead and have 2 minutes for questions. Start pulling up your phones because that QR code is going to come up very soon. Chris, let's start with you.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned at the beginning you've closed or flipped 70 properties. Tell me why you're passionate about working on this problem for the next 5-7 years.
Fantastic. I found my partner is a Latino. I found him. He's been in the industry for 25 years. He's flipped over 1,100 properties. He came to me because I used to run realty tracks. I was very familiar with the whole foreclosure process, and we had an exchange of ideas. You helped me take the technology, and you helped me learn to flip. So it was an exchange of passions together. And what I saw was he digitized his workflow and his process. And he kept working through the pain points. So for us, it really is a passion that we're there. We see how you make money in flipping. We see how the realtors can interchange with us. And we wanted to democratize the cash and investor space.
I love that. Andrew.
Yeah, talk me through your traction here. So number of certified sellers, number of certified buyers, any
Fantastic.
transactions closed. And it seems like fairly early, but if it's, you want to tell me like how long took you to get there, that would be great too.
Okay, so we've been developing the product this side, the marketplace, for a year because we kept thinking through how do we sell our properties, property we tie up. So we went through all these pain points of thinking through how do we protect the people that bring the properties into the marketplace? How do I protect an agent's relationship that if they put it into the platform, someone doesn't go around them? So there was a lot of back and forth and redesign of the technology because of that. So it took a year from that standpoint. We have 350 investors on the platform, 150 agents. We've run through 50 properties onto the platform, and 15 of those have sold through the platform. So it's really just been a grassroots where we've talked to people we knew because we approached from the standpoint of what was our problem. We have something tied up, we want to sell it. Do I call everybody up that I know, or do I give them an efficient process using technology?
So unfortunately, our time is up. Thank you so much, Jim. Laura, I'm coming to you next. Well, we have 1 minute for you guys to vote. The fate of these startup founders is in your hands. So pick up your phone, go ahead and put the QR code. I do want to let you guys know that HWP has an angel investment network where we have our friend Chris, who is going to help us and talks to us and shows us what questions we need to ask if we, as members of HWP, want to become investors. Laura, deliberate. Tell me a little bit about what goes through your brain and what questions do you ask to see if you want to invest in some of these startups?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Well, one of the things that I was thinking about as he was discussing that is like, what is his go-to-market plan? Like, how does he start to move into other markets quickly and really get customer growth? Because it's nice to have a little bit of traction in certain areas, but when we're looking at companies, we want to make sure that they can grow beyond a certain level. So it's really important for us to understand customer growth, and then who are the customers? Like, how are you finding these people? Where are you finding these people? And how are you going to get more of the people that you're focused on? So that's really important to understand where to find customers, how you're going to grow into that market, and really that scale should essentially turn into revenue that can scale the business.
And I love that you pointed that out, right? Because a lot of the times we have this question of, if I were, how do I invest in the startup? And it's about relationships, and you said that. Do we like it? Do we think that they're going to do a good job? But it's about who is their customer, and can that customer be scaled? So 2 seconds for a last tip before we are going to announce. We're going to see the people's favorite, and then we're going to have you guys deliberate and tell us who your favorites are.
Hey, a big thing is the passion behind the founder. Are they going to work on this for the next, not 2 or 3 years, are they going to work on this for the next 8 to 10 years? And their deep understanding, deep passion, deep understanding, because at the end of the day, these 3 companies may or may not pivot, go into new products, add new services. So how I always look at a deal and say, is that something I'm really, really excited about? I want to help them get it into the world. I want to help them, and the audience, do you want to help them get them customers? Do you want to become a customer? Do you want to pay for this? And then what does it become if it's really successful? So that's what I think a lot about angel investing.
I love it. I love it. So, voice of God, tell us who the crowd's favorite is. Let's see.
Sarah, it is D-Blocks.
Woo! That is awesome. The crowd favorite is Olivia Ramos with D-Blocks. You guys deliberate and tell me who your favorite is. Okay. We're going to see. Guys, we put at HWP some amazing webinars with these judges where they tell us more in-depth questions on what you should ask if you're ever interested in actually investing in one of these startups. The thing is that even though there's a lot of capital that goes out there for a lot of startups, do you know that less than 1% of that capital goes to Latino-owned startups? So it's really important for us to be able to move the needle in investing in our own. Judges, do you have a favorite? Oh my gosh, we don't have time. We've got another thing going on. The pressure. Okay, Dragon Lady says time is up. Who wants to announce who the judge's favorite is?
Well, we agree with the crowd. D-Blocks! Woo!
Congratulations, Olivia, and congratulations to our other startup founders, Tomas Garcia with ARCS and Jim Sasio from FairClose. Congratulations, Olivia.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, I think we're moving on to the next thing because we're running a little bit out of time. But if you want to hear more about any of our investors or our startups, just please go to the HWP website and we will have more information about them there. Thank you so much to our judges and to our founders.